It's been 7 months since the passed-up layup heard round the world. Yet the Ben Simmons saga in Philadelphia still hasn't reached a conclusion. Adding urgency to the matter is the astounding level Joel Embiid is currently playing at. The 5-time All-Star is having a career year for the 76ers. But they aren't contending for anything of significance as long as Simmons' spot on the roster remains empty or without a trade to bring in Simmons' replacements. There are options for team president Daryl Morey to explore between now and the trade deadline, and there are both pros and cons to all those options. But Morey and the Sixers have to do something, because right now, they're wasting a once-in-a-lifetime season from Embiid. I can't overstate just how damn good Embiid has been. Already an MVP runner-up in 2021, Embiid has been even better this season, averaging roughly 29 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, a block, and a steal in just under 33 minutes. And with the team's most prolific distributor holding out, Embiid has stepped up his playmaking in a major way. His career-high assist percentage trails only Nikola Jokic among centers and has increased a whopping 58% year over year. Watch even a few minutes of Sixers basketball this season, and Embiid's improved vision, as well as Philly's reliance on the big man as a playmaking hub, pops off the screen. Only starting point guard Tyrese Maxey averages more assists per game. The most impressive part of Embiid's increased playmaking duties is that he solved some of his turnover issues while shouldering the heaviest burden of his career. Embiid wasn't blameless when it came to his propensity to cough the ball up, but his supporting cast didn't do him any favors either. For most of his time in Philadelphia, the Sixers have lacked the type of offensive initiator capable of even throwing the 7-footer a competent post-entry pass.
Is that too much to ask?
And when the ball did find its way inside, Embiid would get swarmed by opponents who didn't fear his teammates. It's almost as if the big man decided to remedy all of that by himself this season. He's getting his teammates better looks, dribbling his way into his own post-ups, and generally creating more for himself. The only players who've ever had a season with usage rates and assist rates as high, plus a turnover rate as low as Embiid's this year, are Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, and Allen Iverson. But none of those legends shot the ball like Embiid has this season. He's carrying a top 10 offense the way Hall of Fame guards do, except he's doing it more efficiently than they ever did, while also anchoring a top 10 defense.
What more do you want?
His defensive impact has dipped somewhat, and opponents are faring better when he's guarding the rim than in years past. But Embiid's still a force on that end of the court, with a two-way burden that almost seems unfair, even for a superstar earning more than $31 million this season. This is what the best player on a championship team looks like. This is not what a championship team looks like, though. The easiest way to bolster that underwhelming supporting cast is for Morey and the Sixers to swallow their pride and commit to trading Simmons for whatever emerges as the best offer between now and the deadline. Understandably, Morey needs to consider how this franchise-altering trade with the remainder of Embiid's prime and the rest of his time under contract. After all, the decorated big man is under team control through 2026 with a $54 million player option in 2026-2027. But Morey must also consider how extraordinarily Embiid is playing in the present and how rare it is for an NBA team to ever have a superstar performing this well. It's not just a question of durability either. Sure, Embiid being a 280-pound 7-footer with a history of back, knee, and foot issues is concerning in its own right. The 27-year-old has only cracked the 2,000-minute mark once in his career. But even if he stays healthy for the remainder of his contract, he may never be better than he is right now, because few big men in history have ever been better than this. Assuming your franchise star will be as good, as available, or as content as he is now for the remainder of his contract is a dangerous game for teams to play. Embiid recently did say he's fine with the way Morey's Sixers are handling the situation and with the current Simmons-less roster. But plenty of stars have made similar statements in the past, only for the weight of their individual burden and their team's lack of true contention to slowly take its toll. Morey admitted Embiid's performance means Philadelphia might not need to add a surefire superstar to join the small group of true title contenders. So start bargaining in good faith, trade Simmons for the best package available, and address the Sixers' current needs for a lead initiator, some more defense, and rebounding. A big money deal that sends Simmons and Harris to Sacramento for De'Aaron Fox, Buddy Hield, and Harrison Barnes works cap-wise. Karl Anthony Towns and the Timberwolves like having D'Angelo Russell around. But a Russell for Simmons swap both works cap-wise and would make plenty of basketball sense for both teams, provided picks are included. John Collins has had a disappointing season in Atlanta, but he's still a good young player under long-term team control. If the Sixers could nab him in a deal that also sees draft picks and expiring vets head to Philly, they shouldn't scoff at that. These might not be the names Morey and Sixers fans were hoping for when Simmons first hit the trade market, but they would all immediately raise Philadelphia's ceiling and potentially make them the team to beat in the East. After all, as improved and deep as the Eastern Conference is this season, it's very much a conference in flux. Brooklyn can't be sure Kyrie will even be consistently available by the time the playoffs arrive. Chicago is dealing with injuries that have sunk its surprising defense. Miami and the defending champion Bucks are quality contenders, but neither is unbeatable, especially if Philly rolled into the playoffs with Embiid and a borderline all-star quality running mate. Now, a popular theory floated recently is that Morey could and perhaps should save his bullets for a potential James Harden signing trade this summer. Why spend to marginally improve now if it takes away from your ability to land a star and greatly improve later? Whether it's Harden, Damian Lillard, Bradley Beal, or another potentially disgruntled star, an addition of that caliber would ensure the Sixers don't need Embiid to be historically great every night. But standing pat shouldn't be an option, even if there's genuine internal confidence about landing a star this summer. The risk of wasting Embiid's career season while saving bullets for a future that may never come is simply too great. Not to mention, if Morey and the Sixers truly want to think as big as the team star big man is, they should be looking into the possibility of trading Simmons before the deadline to boost their 2022 odds and still making a splash this summer. Imagine a scenario in which the aforementioned Kings trio, Russell, Collins, or another combination of B-list stars helps Embiid fuel a deep playoff run. Couldn't Morey get back in the mix for Harden, another A-lister, or even a Jaylen Brown level star this summer by then using pieces acquired in a potential Simmons trade, plus a youngster like Maxey and picks? Does it have to be an either-or dilemma? That best of both worlds scenario might seem like the most unrealistic option for the 76ers. But is it any more far-fetched than it would have been to imagine a 25-year-old all-star would sit out an entire season, and a contending team with an MVP-level superstar in his prime would let it happen?
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video and want to see more content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button.